Can I tell you the one thing that I think put Otonoke at the top?
The visual?
The amazing
It's when
animation.
Momo's doing the Rihanna dance. That's when it puts it over the top.
You think so?
Yeah. For some reason, that part of that video, it like tickles your brain.
Coming to you from Crunchyroll HQ, this is the Anime Effect, where each week we bring you the latest from across the world of anime and entertainment. It's pop culture with an anime lens.
I'm getting new glasses tomorrow.
Oh,
Are you really?
Yeah.
I love a new. You know what? Weirdly, I love getting new glasses. I don't know why.
It changes your whole face.
Yeah, man.
It's been what do you mean?
what do you mean? I look like me?
Well, I mean, like Clark Kent, that was his actual disguise.
That's true. That's a good point. Anyway, you may have noticed in the intro, we don't have an interview this week.
We don't.
Because it's all anime awards. We're talking about
Oops, all anime awards.
the 2025 Anime Awards, which happened this past weekend.
Yeah.
We're going to discuss some of the winners, our favorite moments, surprises, anything else you can guess. What I was wearing, I wasn't there.
Pajamas.
I was at home.
Pajamas, because it was like late or / early.
Bananas and pajamas.
I'm your host, Nick Friedman.
It's your boy, LeAlec Murray.
And I'm Leah President.
And the three of us together, once again, are here to see just how powerful the effect of anime really is. Okay, did y'all stay up to watch these?
I took like an hour nap and then got back up, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It was intermittent because, it is very, very early / late.
It's very like it's a very early show.
But like, doesn't it kind of make you feel like when you were a kid and you stayed up like drinking like 6 2-liters of Mountain Dew and like we're playing Halo 3 all night? Like that's kind of how I felt a little bit.
Yeah.
My
I still do that for like Baldur's Gate.
I guess for me it was more to like Smash Brothers, but
yeah. My back hurts more than it did when I was playing Halo 3. But no, staying up this year was fun. I forgot to order food before everything closed.
Yeah.
So I ate multiple day old cheese pizza, which was a very sad sort of individual experience.
Like you didn't even have like.
Was it delivery or was it DiGiorno?
It was delivery.
Okay.
It was delivery.
Okay.
From? Name the brands. I'm just kidding. Joe Man.
It was good. I mean, I always judge a place by like how good they can do just a plain slice of cheese.
That's a good barometer.
Yeah. I don't usually get cheese pizza. My sister had gotten it when she was babysitting our kid, and I'm usually like a pepperoni guy or a sausage or hamburger.
The real
hamburger
unlock,
pizza?
Like hamburger, like ground beef on a pizza.
Beef, The real unlock is if you can find a pizza place that does beef pepperoni. Changes your life. Changes your life.
I love that.
It's great.
It was sad though, because it was a few days old, and you sort of have to like revivify it in the microwave.
Add a little imagination.
Gotta chef it up
to
a little
the whole
bit.
Experience.
You put like a cup with like a little bit of water in the microwave with it. And,
that's a real hack.
It fluffs up the crust a little bit.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Man, that was like those are like just prime like snacking hours for me. So I just don't like just like, oh, I'm gonna eat like a whole meal or whatever. It's just like I got some chippies. Yeah, got some cookies.
Double fisting caffeinated milk.
Actually, no, not. No, I'm trying to up my water intake. So
I like that.
Yeah, I got one of those smart water bottles that tell you when you need to like drink water and what your water
stay
goal is.
hydrated, guys.
Yeah, man, it's great.
Everybody remember to stay hydrated. If you're looking next to yourself and you got an empty cup of water, bottle of water, go fill it.
Pause this podcast. You go get some water and you come back.
Unless you're driving or doing surgery.
Unless you're driving or doing surgery. Don't do that. Wait till you get done.
If it's raining, stick your hand out the window with the cup.
You can't really drink that.
You can't drink
you
that.
Can't.
That's
I mean, you could, but
your immune system, like, you're priming it,
Yeah, microplastics, gasoline fumes,
acid, like acid rain.
Yikes.
Oils.
Fiberglass, actually.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on the fiberglass.
Oh, it looks so tasty. You ever seen a big roll of fiberglass? It's like cotton candy, but it'll cut you anyway. But yeah, it was fun. I don't know. I like staying up sometimes. It's like the one time a year I actually stay up past 10:30 because I'm an old man.
Yeah, it's funny because like I like took a nap and then I woke up as soon as like the Creepy Nuts performance started and I was like, oh, great timing.
It looks so fancy.
Yeah.
It did look very fancy.
The ballroom looks very fancy.
The screens, I love the screens.
The screens are great. The hosts look great. Like
the pre-show hosts look great.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
If you go, plug in the Crunchyroll social channels. Lauren did like a walkthrough of the venue, Lauren and Tim. So you get to see like not even just the actual event floor with all the
place settings,
and all that fancy stuff and the stage and everything. Like the whole place looked magical. Like
it really did.
It looked like super pretty lighting and I
loved it.
Yeah.
All right, y'all want to just jump into it?
I think so. There's a lot to talk about.
There's a ton.
Up next, we are talking about all the winners and amazing moments from the 2025 Anime Awards. Stick around. Okay, guys, there is a lot to go through.
Yes.
Anime Awards just happened this past weekend. Let's talk about the categories.
Yeah, I mean, look, we got to talk about it first.
Yep.
Because everyone in the chat's going to be like, are we talking about it? Are we going to talk about it? We're going to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Solo Leveling wins
Solo Leveling
Anime of the Year.
Yep.
Okay, and Solo Leveling had a massive year.
It had
a massive year.
Massive multiple years, but we'll circle back to that next year.
Only season one eligible.
But this is only season one. This is
only season one eligible.
That's why I said we'll circle back to the other part.
But I definitely think it speaks to like, season one was building to something obviously really special that we got in season two. And I mean, look, this category was stacked.
Yeah. This opens up like a whole nother realm of things, I think, as far as like Donghua and anime and stuff goes.
Sure.
And nominees, Solo Leveling, which won, Don Da Don, Delicious in Dungeon, Frieren, Kaiju,
The Apothecary Diaries. The thing that's so crazy to me about this category is there is an argument to be made that at least half of the shows, I guess more than half the shows listed in this category, we could potentially see again next year.
Yes.
Right?
Very
Solo
much
Leveling
so.
season 2, of course, just wrapped.
Yep.
Apothecary season 2 is on right now.
Probably Kaiju.
Kaiju's summer.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Don Da Don is summer.
Yep.
That's wild.
That's insane.
I mean, one, it's cool that we're getting season 2s so rapidly after season 1s.
Yeah.
But it's kind of why when I look at this category, it's like, I was open about it on the show. Like, for me, Frieren was like
so
the front runner. That was like, for me, like that's what I saw as like, even though
I thought it was almost like a sure shot.
Well, my anime of the year personally was The Apothecary Diaries, of course.
Yes.
But knowing just like the level of people who like really celebrated it across like the world of judges and fans, I mean, you can make a case for so many. I mean, Don Da Don was huge. Frieren was massive.
I told you guys, like, when we were talking about the nominees first, that, Delicious in Dungeon was my dark horse for this category.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was the one that would have shocked a lot of people.
An underdog,
but it had
an underdog
moment.
nominee, in my opinion. Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, like out of all the noms here, like I don't think there was really, personally, I don't think there was really a wrong answer here.
Yep.
You could have gone. Yeah. You could have gone any way, and
a lot of people would have been really happy, and a lot of people wouldn't have
been.
The
discourse still would have been there, depending on where you're going.
It makes it a good category. It means it was a good year for anime.
Yeah.
And a record-breaking year for audience votes as well.
Yes. But it didn't have The Dangers in My Heart season 2.
Oh my God, bro. But no, I mean, but Leah's right. Like for the amount of votes that we got because it was a record-breaking year, that just means how many people were locked in.
Yeah.
And how many people were actually like really, really voting.
Yes.
Right.
And imagine if every one of those people watched The Dangers in My Heart.
Oh my God, bro.
No campaigning on the show.
I'm stumping. Yeah. So that's it. I mean, that's anime of the year, right?
Yep.
Solo Leveling. It was massive. Season 2 was even bigger.
Yep.
And it's going to be really interesting to see the conversation we're having for the nominees next year.
Yep.
Like, I really do wonder if we're going to see some returns.
Yeah. Agreed.
But we'll be here to talk about them.
Agreed.
All right. Moving on to Anime Film of the Year.
This is a good category.
Yeah.
Too.
The winner was Look Back. Incredible film.
Yep.
Yes.
We all saw it.
Yep.
Yes.
Tears.
This was my personal pick, so I'm glad that it. Yeah.
Yeah. Same here. It's a really special story. What it does for how long it is, and by long I mean short. It's like basically under an hour.
Yeah.
but the narrative in it is just so strong.
It achieves a lot in under an hour.
Yeah, and it was really cool to see it recognized. The nominees included, of course, Look Back, Haikyuu, the dumpster battle.
Haikyuu Hive.
Big moment for the Haikyuu Hive. Mononoke, the movie, Phantom in the Rain. My Hero Academia, You're Next. Spy Family Code White, which we talked about a ton on this show. And The Colors Within, which was the Naoko Yamada John from last year.
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
I just got it in the mail.
Did you?
The Steelbook. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to check that out.
Man, all of these films are great, but man, I honestly feel Look Back was Look Back was.
Yeah,
it
I
was
could have seen a Spy Family win.
Yeah, I could have seen a Spy Family.
I also could see like Mononoke win just because it's so colorful and stylistic. It's kind of like like dripping in style. It's very like, I would say like very original. I think it is derivative of is Mononoke. Didn't it start? Wasn't there a previous Mononoke movie?
There's a series.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then does that mean Look Back was the only one that didn't have like a series? And
it
Colors
had source
Within.
Material.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, of course, it's same creator as Chainsaw Man, but was it the only one that didn't have a series attached to it other than Colors Within? Because you've got Haikyuu, of course.
Haikyuu,
MHA,
My Hero, Spy Family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's a good point. The thing about Look Back is like, I mean, yes, it had it going for it that it was like, hey, this is the creator of Chainsaw Man. This is a very different story.
Yeah, it's a totally different story.
Yeah.
And it's a story that I think
no blood
for anyone who is from a creative background, it's like this could be a life-changing kind of movie. It was one of my like top 5 favorite movies of last year, period. That's how much I loved it. And so for me, it was like, this was always like a clear one for me, was Look Back.
Yeah, and I think it's something to be said as far as like films go, is even if they're part of a series, like we're seeing anime films continue to evolve to a point to where like they are essentially turning into like masterworks within themselves, right? So this is what I think this category itself is starting to represent, with like Suzume winning last year and like Look Back this year. Like it's very much like, don't really care where the source is from. If it's good, it's good.
It's like, what are we going to see next year? Are we going to see Scarlet, the new Hosoda movie?
That's
are we
true.
going to see Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle? So it'll be interesting. I always love predicting, but we'll talk about that another time.
Our personal thoughts have no weight.
Zero weight
on the nominees.
I love guessing things because I'm usually wrong. But that's let's move on. We have Best Isekai. Hit the button.
The button should have gone to Japan.
It should have gone to Japan. It should have presented an award right there on stage. And presenting the award for
like,
Best Isekai is the Isekai button. ReZero, Starting Life in Another World Season 3 has won Best Isekai. This is the first year we've had this category. This is a new category for this year. I'm still on Season 2 of ReZero.
Yeah, I'm right at the tail end of Season 1.
Leah, have you experienced the plight of
Subaru? Yeah.
Plight is a good way to put it, because that man goes through.
Yeah, that's the most traumatic moment of the year.
Yeah.
I feel like for Season 3, a lot of people, like, they felt like this was like an emotional core for the series.
A lot of character growth as well, I would say. And we talked about this with the voice actor.
With Kobayashi-san,
about this character's journey overall. It really is kind of like, there were a lot of years between these seasons too. So kind of following along on this journey and then, getting to this point with Subaru's character, I think it was a deserved win.
Awesome. It's good to hear. I mean, this was one where when I saw the nominees, I mean, of course, for me, Konosuba is, I love Konosuba. We're going to talk about Konosuba again with the next category we talk about. But the difference between the two, right? Like something like ReZero, which does, it can be funny and it has kind of a similar setup, but the way that ReZero handles drama,
it's more weighted.
Yeah. Versus like Konosuba can have some really strong dramatic moments, but it's more about the levity.
But they're very easily erased by something that one of the team does.
So of course the nominees, ReZero, Konosuba, Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation.
Honestly, I thought Mushoku Tensei might have been a lock for this one.
I thought it would have been so interesting to see Suicide Squad Isekai win. Wouldn't that have been interesting?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wouldn't that have been interesting?
I love the concept of Suicide Squad.
Squad Isekai. Like listen, like when you get to the point to where they like turn into a proper RPG party, you're like,
Yep.
okay, like
And honestly,
we know
like,
where we're going.
I wouldn't have been mad if Suicide Squad Isekai was like up for character design.
Yeah,
or something.
I agree.
Character design.
I
Was
was gonna bring that up.
incredible.
Because it was Wit
Yeah,
Studio,
it was
and
Wit,
I thought
yeah.
they did great.
Yeah, they did great.
Mushoku Tensei remains a beautiful series.
Mhm.
I wouldn't have been surprised to see that pop up in Best Animation
No, same.
either. I would have loved for Shangri-La Frontier Season 2 to win. Hit the Isekai button.
Yeah.
Uh,
Agreed. I know it's so far away
It
from
is-
me
it
that
is
sometimes
not-
I
it
have
is-
to.
because
It is not an isekai.
All
The
right,
fact that
well.
it did not win furthers my point that it
All
is
right.
not an isekai.
Yeah, whatever.
So
Then Suicide Squad Isekai, as Leah mentioned, and that time I got reincarnated as a slime Season 3,
slime time. Yeah.
Yeah.
which I am also in Season 2 of Slime.
It's
Slime.
man. I mean, I stand by it. Like slime is still one of my favorite like isekai series.
Another stacked category, honestly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, there was a lot. I don't, you know what? And then also, and I should know this a little more, but like I always am surprised at how much, just from a brand perspective, how many isekais we have every year.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then when this category came up, I was like, how do you choose? Like,
It is a
there's
genre
so
with
many.
subgenres now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's
what do
why
you
there's
think
a
will
best
be
isekai
the-
category.
Yeah. What do you think will be like the next isekai? Like, what is the next like genre that
It's
you
fantasy.
feel is gonna pop?
It's
you think?
fantasy. I've
With
been,
Frieren leading the way?
yes,
Oh, do you
absolutely.
mean like after
genre
the
just-
isekai boom, not like
Well,
a
yeah.
specific kind of
Yeah.
isekai?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like there was a time when we didn't have 5, 6, 7 isekai
Right.
That's a good
per
point.
season. And that kind of has taken off, especially like
Yep.
the long title ones,
Yep.
you know?
Do you
It's-
remember when the fad was death games?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's with Frieren leading the charge. It is fantasy
Like
because
high fantasy?
yeah, like high fantasy
Yeah.
because we got Frieren, we got Delicious in Dungeon.
Oh,
like,
which
we're
We just
gonna-
got the
which had Atelier
Yep.
is coming.
Oh, man.
We
Yeah.
had the movie, the Lord of the Rings anime movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rohirrim. Yeah. I think that's where it is now. I think that's where it's going.
We're going to get some good fantasy.
I
Did
think
you
we're
say
gonna-
Delicious in Dungeon?
Yeah, I said
Okay,
Delicious
yeah.
Dungeon. Yeah. We're gonna get
Bring
this-
back Little Witch Academia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bring it back. Bring it back.
But yeah, no, I think that's where we're going. Like full stop. So
Well, maybe we'll go comedy because the next category we're going to talk about is best comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Winner. Bling bong bong bling bong bong bling bong. MASHLE, Magic and Muscles, The Divine Visionary Candidate Exam Arc. Say that 5 times fast.
Speak on it.
no.
MASHLE has won for best comedy of the last year.
I know MASHLE is not everybody's form, like a favorite form of comedy, but
Yeah.
I'm okay with this win.
It's definitely more deadpan.
It's more deadpan. It's more like slapsticky. Like it's not like
Yeah.
there's no
Mhm.
like real setup. Like you just basically operate on the fact that MASH is like oblivious to pretty much
Yeah.
everything around him, and he
Except-
just punches things.
Except for Cream Puffs.
Mhm.
Right, except for cream puffs.
Um,
That is literally his life's mission: is to punch things, be strong,
And
Yeah.
of course
Cream
a
Puff.
banger OP.
yeah, and then a banger OP
From
doesn't hurt
Friedman.
either.
For
Yeah,
real.
So this category also had a lot in it.
Yeah. Mhm.
Mhm.
Delicious in Dungeon,
Yep.
of course.
Here's the thing, like Dungeon Meshi, like Rise Up, like that was my expectation for the category.
Mhm.
Was Delicious in Dungeon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course, I always go Konosuba because it's Konosuba.
Yeah.
You could put Konosuba in like, best romance and I'd be like, it's Konosuba. That's my pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spy Family
you would.
season 2 was also really funny.
It was.
It did take a very sharp turn.
It did.
Yes.
It did.
Like it did get scarier. It did
Mhm.
get a little bit more like mature themes.
Yeah. I think
from my
what's
favorite arc in the manga.
Yeah.
The cruise ship arc.
yeah, and I kind of love the way that Spy Family balances the not only the comedy, but then like when the stakes kind of start raising, like they like okay, like
And the
it's
comedy isn't
meat
always
and
the
potatoes.
point.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
feel like that's why it works as a
Mhm.
comedy.
Exactly.
So yeah, MASHLE was a nominee, Delicious in Dungeon, Konosuba, Spy Family Season 2, of course.
Mhm.
My Dear Friend Nokotan, which
Aw.
it had its moment.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
And if you're looking for more of similar to that, but with more suplexing of the deer,
Nichijou.
Nichijou. Definitely
Yes.
watch Nichijou.
Was
and
that Nokotan's only nomination?
I think so.
I think so. I think that was the only nom. for
Kind of
Nokotan.
surprised to not see it in anime song. 'Cause
Yeah, same.
that song
that
kind of
song
took
was
over the world a little
everywhere.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Ranma 1/2, which
Did you watch this one? Did you watch it?
Yes.
I haven't watched it.
it's
Yet. It's on my
hilarious.
list. I haven't watched it. Yet.
More of these remakes like
Mhm.
Urusei Yatsura and Ranma
you know what?
1/2.
Yes, more remake because they've been good.
When you do them like this,
when you like care about them,
yeah, it feels good.
it does. It feels really good.
And it was cool to see it repped here.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it was more toward the tail end of the year, too.
Yeah, it was.
We also talked about our favorite comedy anime on the show recently, so you can go back a couple episodes and check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, if you want to hear our news episodes, for those of you watching, if you didn't know, our news episodes are audio exclusive, and you can find them on all the podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify.
Yeah. It's a whole different vibe. We're a lot like more chaotic.
Yeah.
A little bit more laid back.
Yeah.
Like it is a whole different show.
It's
within
I
the
don't know.
show.
I think it's just the same show. We're just not on video for that one.
no inhibitions. So yeah, that drops on Wednesdays. So at 3 p.m. PT. So you can check that out and get your double dose of Anime Effect every week.
Yeah.
I will always put the news episode
Same.
on in my car.
Yeah. Same.
Always.
Same.
Speaking of things I always put on in my car, dang, that was good.
That was good.
Wow. Is there an award for best podcast transition?
If you keep them coming like this, yeah, totally.
Best opening song, best OP, best opening sequence. The win goes to. There
was no way that Creepy Nuts was not winning this award.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
They
had two songs
20,
in this.
what is that 20%?
They showed up with their award-winning shoes on, for sure.
You're always thinking about the shoes and the feet.
Can we not?
You know what? You know how
not?
that didn't even occur to me? It's subliminal at this point.
Otonoke by Creepy Nuts
Yep.
from Don to Don, the OP for Don to Don, took home best opening sequence. I believe it also took home best anime song.
Yes.
Of course it did.
Yeah.
I still can't stop singing that song.
It's so good.
It's extremely good. I found this band on TikTok that covers that song. Pitch Perfect.
Oh, really?
Pitch Perfect.
Huh.
This win made sense to me. It's literally, it's going to get stuck in your head no matter what. It did have some like pretty fierce competition though, in my opinion.
This was also loaded.
This one could have gone to a couple different, like,
including Creepy Nuts again.
Yeah, including second Creepy Nuts.
Like, I don't think we would have been surprised if
Sawano.
Yeah, I mean, Sawano level for Solo Leveling with Tomorrow Together. Like, right out the gate, the music from Solo Leveling was good.
Yeah, it was great.
And the thing is, like, Abyss from Kaiju number 8, that one really does stand out in the category.
That one is the one that surprised me the most. Like, out of all of these, like, that was the one that, like, when that OP came on, I was like, oh, man.
Yeah. Well, and
we're talking about the visuals
sequence
as well.
So, can I tell you the one thing that I think put Otonoke at the top?
The visuals?
The amazing
it's
animation.
when Momo's doing the Rihanna dance. That's when it puts it over the top.
You think so?
Yeah. For some reason, that part of that video, it, like, tickles your brain.
Mm-hmm.
That that entire, like, the visuals for that entire opening are just like a trip, right?
The colors,
the
colors. Like,
yeah, man, and like you can tell. So kind of like the ending for, was it season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen, where
with Ali,
when everyone was kind of like superimposing like other anime characters
and all the bright
stuff, like,
colors.
when the most devastating possible thing happens, and then it's like
yeah.
Except this was like moments before disaster.
But I mean, it very much reminded me of that, because like you started seeing people recreate this opening with, you know, different characters and stuff, like, because it had like you said, it scratched that itch for people.
I didn't even think about that. Of all the ones on this list, like, that is the one that kind of permeated the mainstream a little bit, and you saw it everywhere. But you mentioned Abyss by Youngblood. Great song. Visuals are crazy good.
And the visuals are great.
It's just
that final
right,
shot, like right when they're standing in front of, like, that's sick.
Bling Bang Bang Born, MASHLE, of course. Fatal by Gemin. For Oshinoko Season 2, this was a great opening sequence too.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that whole season like I was waiting for the stage play to finally start production in the show, because I was like, you know my thing about like AU stuff. Like,
AU.
not like that. Like AAU.
That's
I'm
the
walking
chemical.
What was it?
That's gold.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Gold.
Yeah.
Gold.
No, like alternate universe
gold,
stuff
everything.
where it's like it's the characters in a fantasy world. Like that's the vibe that OP.
I need my hero fantasy series. Anyway, continue.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Or a movie, like just like a
just
movie would be good.
bro. Yeah. Anyway,
Solo Leveling, and then of course Us by Hiroshi Kikudani for One Piece.
Yep.
That opening sequence is crazy.
It's great.
I would not have been surprised if this had won for opening sequence because it captures all of One Piece in like a minute 30.
It's I think it's very different from the previous OPs for One Piece also. It has this really interesting, cool style. So
yeah, it was great. I can already like in my head see what we might see next year. Like like a Fire Force.
Ah, man.
Or like a Fire Force Season 3 OP1 or Apothecary Diaries
To Be
Season
Hero.
2.
To Be Hero. Hopefully.
To Be
Windbreaker.
Oh, that song
Well,
is so good.
yeah.
That's,
To Be
that's
Hero-
also Sawano, though.
Bro.
So. Next up, we are talking about another new category for this year, which was Best Background Art.
This was my awaited category. I was so excited for this category.
Who was the winner?
Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, which makes total sense to me
So
because
deserved.
the visuals of Frieren and the background art, it does take on that very like fantasy style that I think is so definitive to the genre. And yeah, I think
nails the atmosphere.
I think
absolutely
if the
nails
visuals
atmosphere.
for this show weren't so good, like background wise, I think we'd be talking about a different show completely.
Well, and it's like, and you can like, it's one of the things that truly stands out about a show like Frieren.
Yeah.
It's how I feel about the score in Frieren too, from
Yes,
Evan Call.
yes.
Like you hear it and it all builds this like full unique picture.
You're immediately enveloped.
Yeah.
it gives the feeling of those like, you know, like the it's kind of a dying art, but like the fantasy novel cover.
Mm.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
Yeah.
such a dying art. And I feel like Frieren captured at least a small part of that.
The vibes were good.
Yeah.
The other nominees in this category, aside from Frieren, were Dandadan, which
Mhm.
I think for me, when I look at Dandadan, what stands out the most to me is the character design
Yeah,
and the colors.
character
right?
design and the colors.
Delicious in Dungeon, which there is a lot to be said about the world building through the background art in Delicious in Dungeon that I think is really strong. Demon Slayer, of course, we've seen it season after season. Again, the world building, the way it uses shadows and depth and things like that. Pluto, which loved seeing Pluto in this category.
Yeah, Pluto's great.
If you haven't seen Pluto, definitely check it out.
Pluto's great.
It's phenomenal. And then, of course, the Apothecary Diaries. Which,
there's such a case to be made there, especially with the like wide sweeping shots of the rear palace.
Oh yeah. Every time you see it, the scale.
It's so
and
detailed and
they do a really good job of, like you said, the scale. Like anytime you're watching that show and you just see the bigness of where they are environmentally compared to the characters, like, and they do such a great job.
It grounds the story too. Like it just makes it feel so real.
Yeah. And also the night shots I felt had like this very like the scene where, well, is this a spoiler?
The dance.
Yeah, I was gonna say
someone dances. Someone does a dance and it's nighttime.
Yeah, and I think this is actually season 2, so I'm kind of looking ahead here.
Yeah.
But also, I noticed there's a certain scene where they're on a high building lookout, and they look out over the dynasty, and I thought that shot was like really beautiful. So maybe we'll see a nomination next year as well for this, because I think like it was very consistent in the tone. So I do think it was nominee worthy.
Sure.
But yeah, Apothecary Diaries definitely was in the running for me.
What a good category. I'm glad we have this
It's a great
category now.
Yeah.
It's
I'm excited
really
to see what we get next year.
Hell yeah. All right. This is the last category we're going to break down one by one, but the best English dub voice actor performance from last year. I always love covering this category because obviously we work in the the Crunchyroll Dallas office, so we get to see a lot of the production and stuff happen here, and it's really cool. Winner was friend of the show, Aleks Lee,
Evil Twin,
for his performance as Sung Jinwoo in Solo Leveling. I don't know if you've seen the behind the scenes clips that he's posted or that Crunchyroll has posted. Like, he gives it his all.
The boy put the work in.
That man goes in.
Yeah.
Did he mentioned Coughing Up Blood, I think, at some point. Wild stuff. And I think he really does embody that character. And of course, we do see that a ton more in season 2, which is why I would not be surprised to see
his name on the list again.
In this category. But, you know, looking ahead at the other nominees, there was AJ Beckles as Okurun in Dandadan.
Yeah, he did great.
AJ is fantastic. Yeah. He's also Takamichi in Tokyo Revengers.
Yeah.
Where he pulls a great lead performance there. So his work as Okurun is fantastic. Jesse James Greel as Armin in Attack on Titan Final Season, the Final Chapter Special 2.
Yep.
Say that 5 times fast.
Yep.
Nope.
Well, here's the thing. We got to give it up for Armin because he is the narrator of Attack on Titan. At the end of the day, like the whole thing is like spoken by by Armin like throughout these seasons,
Yep.
and he is the storyteller of like what is unraveling. He's like
Yep.
the scribe, the observer. So
I think
sorry, I had to have my
you're
moment.
good. I mean, like, I think Jesse's performance had to be here. This was, of course, the last bit of Attack on Titan there, and I think I just think their performance as Armin is like arguably one of the most memorable parts and iconic parts of. I mean, everyone pulls out an amazing job in the Attack on Titan English dub, but like you said,
we've had many of the VAs on this
but like
show.
Armin is that like storytelling center of the series, and so I was really happy to see their name here.
Yeah. I was also really happy to see Sarah's name here, Natachini, as Alia.
Yeah.
From Alia, sometimes
Because you're having to do
in Russian.
This is one of those moments where you have a voice actor doing the English voice and the Russian voice, which to me is endlessly impressive.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool because, they're doubling up on that and bringing the same like emotion and feeling and story in two different languages. And I think that there is something to be said about like being able to understand that tone and like how different audiences watching in different languages are going to interpret that tonality. And that takes real skill.
Well, because there is a way that you have that tonal shift in the Japanese version where they are shifting from Japanese to Russian that Sarah really nails. And of course, Sarah's an incredibly experienced and talented voice actor, having voiced Ash Ketchum for quite a long time now. And of course, her performance there is amazing as well. And it was cool to see Alia repped in a category. We also had Mallory Rodak as Frieren in Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Wowza. Another amazing lead performance. The fight scene with Aura.
And the thing, so good. Like, wow, so good. Just very like the way she performed is so quotable too. Like, I'll be saying like stuff around the house, like in her voice.
She like nails the like quiet disposition of Frieren, but it makes the comedic moments of Frieren also really powerful.
One thing I noticed is between the Japanese version and the English dub, they do have very different voices. So like I watched because I was like watching as it was coming out. So the dub would come out before, or the dub would come out later than the sub. So sometimes like in order to keep, on top of the episodes, I would watch the sub version as well. So I did like it 50-50.
Yeah.
And it is a different, they do have very different voices. Like, so it kind of did bring like a new interpretation, I think, of Frieren.
They feel kind of equally representative of the character. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that's a good way to look at it. And of course, Sungwon Cho as Senshi, delicious in Dungeon.
Did so good.
Best fan service character of the year.
Best. Yeah, 100%, man. And I think what I loved about his performance as Senshi was the knowledge you have to have just as a chef in general, right? And the way that he would explain stuff like as he was doing it was just so like very like the best way I could put it is like Food Networky.
And it, see that?
And it definitely like it like worked for me. I was like, oh.
I am also biased here because I just finished Agretsuko season 3 for the first time, and he voices the idol group's manager.
Yeah.
Man,
so good. Also,
Agretsuko's really good. I started watching it on a plane because the episodes are short, and I could like burn through a whole season, and I'm on season 4 now.
Yeah, Agretsuko's great.
Okay, our top moments from the Anime Awards. We teased it at the top. We have to start with the musical performances.
Incredible.
So good.
How is it that like we talked to 2 of the 3 performers
friends of the show
this year, friends of the show.
So let's see. Okay, we haven't gotten Creepy Nuts yet. They opened the show.
Oh man, that's a dream.
With Bling Bang Bang Born.
Yep.
Great way to set the pace,
bro. It was like
night.
It's like when did the show start? Like 4:00 or something like that.
It was like 3 a.m.
Yeah, so it was like.
He was doing the dance.
I'm getting hype in the witching hour.
But it was really great. I love the stage.
Yeah, man. The stage is great. Yeah, I love the way they have the stage.
With all the visuals. Yeah. And then friend of the show, Flo, performed in the middle of the show.
Yeah. Eureka 7, what was
Eureka
it? The
7, the
20th anniversary?
That one was really cool.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Eureka 7.
Eureka 7 goes places.
And you like Mecha. You gotta watch it.
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
And then toward the end of the show, we had friend of the show, Lisa.
Lisa Medley.
Yeah.
Lisa Medley. We covered,
goat.
of course, Demon Slayer.
Yep. Sword Art
There was
Online.
Sword Art Online.
My Hero Academia.
And My Hero Academia.
Just
I think it was
hit
those
after
three.
hit after hit. Like, talk about defining songs in anime fandom culture.
I got hyped for the My Hero one.
I didn't expect to see the My
I
Hero
didn't either,
one.
but then like the fantasy visual
Yeah.
was like behind her the whole time, and I was like, yes.
Do you think we could get her back next year for solo level?
Oh, dude,
Oh,
I hope
I
so.
hope.
I just want to see Lisa perform more.
Yeah, man.
She's so great.
Hopefully.
Awesome.
I saw everyone in the chat was
Well,
like,
and
is she
then-
gonna do Gurenge or is it gonna end?
Well,
She's gonna do Gurenge, bro.
Well, and then she did Shangri-La too. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
The Isekai.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not.
Okay, moving on. One of my favorite moments from this year's awards was seeing who was going to present Anime of the Year.
Mhm.
Last year, Megan Thee Stallion,
Mhm.
of course, huge moment. This year, Kacey Musgraves.
In full cosplay.
And she looked so good.
It was so
In
good.
full
She
cosplay.
looked so good. Like she was
yeah.
kind of like a dark version, Sailor Moon inspired
Yes,
look.
it was very cool to see. What are you squinting at?
I think that's an actual character in Sailor Moon, though.
That she was cosplaying.
Was
yeah.
it? We've talked about Kacey Musgraves and her stuff on the show before. Her music's really great.
Yeah, country, pop country,
Pop country. I'm not like a big
stellar.
country guy, but her
Yeah.
stuff's really good.
Mhm.
Christmas album. I know I've talked about it before.
Yeah, you've gone on this whole arc of Kacey Musgraves. You've
My
had
other
Kacey Musgraves.
and my other favorite moment is there was an ad for our podcast that played during the pre-show,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite moment.
and that ad was actually promoting this episode that you're watching right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if you're here
to our
because of
moment.
that, that'd be crazy.
Welcome.
But let us know.
Oh yeah. Say Chibi Moon. It was the yeah.
Oh, with the pigtails
Yeah.
and
That's
yeah,
what
okay.
her
or the buns.
Yeah,
buns,
yeah.
pigtails.
that's what there you go.
How
I
about
was
you?
yeah, it was like had to remember it.
How about y'all? Favorite moment. Hit me.
Well,
Seriously,
here's
James
hit me in the
the
face.
thing is, nothing is surprising about anything that I choose anymore because it always goes back to, of course, the love of my life, Attack on Titan, who
I was like, where are they
won
going
a
with this
new
one?
category literally just to honor its impact, literally
Yep.
the Global Impact Award,
Yep.
which is essentially like given to an IP that has had like just, it's kind of an honorable mention, but it is a category win.
Yeah, it's like I see it as just like this is a industry recognition of like the moment.
Mhm.
Yes.
And how important it was to the
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah. And it's like transcendence into like larger culture and stuff like that. And so honestly, yeah, I can't point to anything else other than Attack on Titan, especially in these past couple of years
Sure.
where it has brought so many new fans to anime just because the story that it tells is so good that it's like it kind of changed people's expectations of like what to expect in an anime.
Well, Attack on Titan was a huge part of the growth of anime, like in the
Mhm.
modern growth of anime. Like you could argue that Attack on Titan and Sword Art Online were like, they were the bringers of this kind of new era in like the 2012 to 2014
Mhm.
space when, streaming became more accessible and these massive
Yeah.
shows.
It kind of kickstarted it just kickstarted the tidal wave of like anime in actual conversation for pop culture, right? Like it just
Yeah.
like fully kicked it into gear because like Attack on Titan and Sword Art at the time were like all really like, it's weird because I felt like that was the only thing that people were talking about.
Well,
as
it was
far as
like
anime.
Sword Art was bringing in a lot of the like legacy fans who may have been sort of lapsed on anime.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Attack on Titan brought it in
A bunch of new
everybody.
people. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you think about it, like stuff that was on air on HBO at that time, like Game of Thrones was getting really popular. Like
Mhm.
Attack on Titan like comes to prominence during a time where people are looking for this kind of like elevated,
Yeah.
mature storytelling.
Mhm.
Attack on Titan doesn't have some of the hallmarks that maybe other anime series have, leaning on things like
No
fan
beach
service
episode.
or
Wait, there
or
is a
comedy.
beach
There is a
episode?
beach episode. They do spoilers. They go to the beach,
Well, it's like that's like a 10-year-old spoiler at this point, right?
but like there's a moment
Mhm.
that Attack on Titan deserved, and yeah, it was cool. It was really really cool
Yeah.
to see.
I mean,
And
speaking on what you just mentioned
Yeah.
with like the Game of Thrones, everything, there was a time like literally a year ago where you could go on IMDb's top rated television episodes.
and yeah,
And in the top 10, there was like 8 Attack on Titan episodes. I'm not kidding. Like I have it like a screenshot somewhere. I remember telling Nick
on your wall in your room.
I remember messaging Nick and being like, "Wait a second, this is crazy. Like, does anybody else see this? Like,
it's like Ozymandias, Breaking Bad, and then the last episode of season 3, part 2 of Attack on Titan."
Yeah, like it was just even in the top. I went all the way down to like the top 100, and there were like
still
like 15 episodes. Or something Attack on Titan episodes, and like the best TV episodes ranked of all time on IMDb. Crazy.
It's so cool to see. Okay, before we wrap up, I'm gonna go rapid fire. Favorite winner of the night?
Best character design for Dawn to Dawn. Like we kind of touched on it before. Yeah. We were talking about best background, but we talk about Science Saru in the show a lot.
Yeah. I know. Where's my Scott Pilgrim nom for character design?
Hello. But I think this was a big moment for them because we had touched on it for OP and we touched on it for background. Like the way that they played with colors and how sharp the character design was and how it was just kind of like the show that didn't really look like everything else.
Yeah.
That's Science Saru, man. They're just like charting their own path.
Yeah, man. They just like, even with like Scott Pilgrim, it was just like, it doesn't look like anything else here. And I think it was a lot of it is because, they leaned a lot on Brian Lee O'Malley's, artwork for that
Scott Pilgrim, yeah.
But for Science Saru, I mean, they could have totally just gone a little more. I mean, I guess the best way I can say it is generic, but they really leaned into.
They brought the feel of the manga to life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like fantastical.
Yeah, because if you see like the very much in the best way I can compare this is very much in the One Piece way of like how Oda Sensei like puts them in different like fashionable outfits and then like kind of plays with some of the colors and the landscaping. Dawn to Dawn does the same thing with its manga and Science Saru did such a great job of translating that to an animation medium. So that was nice. That was definitely mine for sure.
That's a good one. Leah?
I have to say best fantasy, Frieren.
Yeah,
hands down.
And like going back to something that you brought up, Lee, about how I think it is going to be like the next
wave
Isekai, like the next like trending anime genre that I think we're going to start to see more. It's clearly something audiences want and are connecting with. And so I think we're going to start to see some additional fantasy adaptations in the next couple of years.
Yeah, that'd be cool. My favorite was best voice performance in Japanese. Of course, Aoyuki as Mao Mao from the Apothecary Diaries.
Yes.
She's my favorite main character since probably Boji a few years back. One of the best performances. She's here in the office.
That is saying a lot.
Hello. Sir. It's one of my favorite VA performances since Chisato from Licorice Recoil, where you can tell
it was good.
This isn't a voice that's being used for another character. Like this is a unique, singular portrayal.
Very much so.
And it's really, a lot like Emi Loa does in the English dub version. Like they become the emotional center of this plot, and just the way that Mao Mao just when she gets an aha moment and she solves something, like you see that in the inflection of the voice, and it was really, really cool to see the show celebrated in that way.
Yeah, agreed.
She's a complicated character.
Whew, big year, y'all. Big year for anime. Holy crap.
It's going to be even bigger next year.
It feels like it gets bigger every year. And I think it does. I think it literally gets bigger.
Next year, we're going to go back to the 1-year eligibility as well.
Yeah. So it looks like it'll be January to December of 2025. Those are eligible. It'll be fun to have like some firm guidelines there.
Yeah, for sure.
If you want to see the full list of Anime Awards winners for 2025, you can head over to Crunchyroll News. You'll see it on the front page. And right into the show. Let us know what you think. What were your favorite wins?
Just your wins.
Yeah. What are your wins in life? Did you get a raise recently?
Just your wins, right. Was it review season? But no, seriously, tap in on what you guys liked about the Anime Awards.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Lee, you ready to take us out?
Hell yeah, brother. Insert Eagle Screams. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of The Anime Effect, brought to you by Crunchyroll and the folks over at Sony Music Entertainment. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
The Anime Effect is hosted by me, Nick Friedman, LeAlec Murray, and Leah President. We're executive produced by Jonathan Hirsch, Joanna Clay, and born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh my gosh. You're like, what's
It's
his
me.
name in Glass Onion? Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah, he had some good accent work in that show.
Anyway, I'm also an
Yeah,
executive
Knives
producer.
Out, Knives Out.
Our lead producer is Kyla Carnero. Our associate producer is Zoe Colkin. Open Ended Films filmed, and Pixelworks edited the video. Our head of production is Sammy Allison. Special thanks to Carla Solorzano and Tamika Balance Kalasny.
We'll be back next week with even more anime, of course.
And you've won the award for There's Nothing You Can Do About It.
Yeah,
So,
it's a participation award.
Yeah, that which means everybody gets one. Later days,
that's
y'all.
right. Bye.